Watson is that good. That this weekend, I was like,
I want him on the 49ers, dude. Please.
Deshaun Watson, I would say, is like probably top 5, like that, definitely top 5.
He was top 4 in stats this year. He was top 4 quarterback in the NFL this year.
Stats are stats. I mean, whatever.
Well,
just
stats are stats. Athleticism.
Yeah, man.
Throwing arm.
Gamer.
Ability to run. And a gamer who has championship DNA in him.
What's up, Army?
Okay.
Hi, Army.
That is what you need.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's already leaps and bounds in the experience department over Mayfield.
Dude, if that phone was ringing, if I was a Browns, yes.
Well, you see, the problem the Browns
all day.
Right now, the Browns have more problems than just, deciding between Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. All right. They've got 4 contracts they have to seriously look at in the offseason, 2 of which are Baker or Landry and Beckham. Combined, their salaries are a $30.5 million hit against the cap next year, and the Browns are right now they're under the cap by about $24 million. Sheldon Richardson has a $13.7 million cap hit.
Who can overcome best the loss of a Jarvis Landry and an Odell Beckham? Would it be Mayfield or would it be Watson?
Yeah, that's another point too. But they still got to figure out what they're going to do with those 2 guys in the offseason. They've got a lot
and don't plan on keeping Kareem Hunt and Chubb together forever either.
Yeah, because after 2021, we got to start worrying about after this season. See, 2021 is probably going to be a boomer bust season for the Browns because they got to start worrying about salaries.
If you can lock yourself in a quarterback that comes with an exclamation point, then that's one problem you no longer have to worry about going down the road.
Stefanski's system is a 2 tight end system. He prefers the 2 tight ends.
And you know what? Has Watson not flourished with 0 tight ends?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Has Deshaun Watson done really good with, like, other than like he had D-Hop, yeah, but that was really it.
Yeah. He hasn't had much of anything. Will
Right.
Fuller
No running
was
game.
number 1 receiver last
At
year.
all. Never a running game.
I mean, what? David Johnson is his running game?
Yeah, that was
Come on, put Watson in with
10 years
Hunt.
ago, maybe.
Put Watson in with Hunt, Chubb,
Right.
Landry.
Yeah. Plug Watson into that.
all them
offense.
boys.
Well,
Add the 2
all I
tight
know
ends.
is it would. I don't. I mean, You've changed your mind where it's a nice scenario, but it's likely not going to happen.
And that's
well, no,
what I
because
said. That's
Cleveland's
what I said.
invested in Baker, just like Buffalo's invested in Josh. It's not
Right.
going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's
here's
how
the
good
thing.
Deshaun is.
If the possibility is there, you'd be a fool not to at least give it its due consideration.
Oh, Nosey's just dying to talk about.
Well, that's all right, Nosy. It's going to be number 3. It's number 3 on our bullets tonight.
Dying to talk about.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm not going to defend Derek Laughlin because, I mean, come on. He's a so-called expert, and I outdo him all the time.
He is a friend of the show. Has been on the show many, many times.
And I always give him shit because, honestly, his predictions are nowhere near as good as mine. As a matter of fact, I got to the point where I picked opposite of what he does.
Yeah. So.
Well, last scenario I saw had a possibility of Watson going to Carolina in exchange for Teddy Bridgewater.
That we and J.J. Watt going along with. Yes, I saw that too.
With a whole bunch of picks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are beating down the doors for Teddy these days. Hello, Wayne. Hello, Army.
Hey, Wayne, what's up, buddy? Wayne Lynch is our resident San Francisco 49er fan.
Okay, there we go. That's the proposed trade for
Yeah, for Carolina. Yeah, I saw that, Elliot. Yeah.
It would be Texans getting the 8th overall pick, 39th overall pick, the 2022, 2023 first-round picks, and Teddy Bridgewater for Deshaun Watson and a 22 third-round pick and a 2023 fourth-round pick. That's what Carolina.
I hope he goes to the NFC.
My problem with the Carolina thing is that I don't think they have the defense that he needs. Houston, I mean, he suffered a lot in Houston because the defense keep him on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He needs to go to a place that has a defense, a good tight end, some nice receivers, and a running game.
Yes.
That's either San Francisco or Cleveland.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Which one do you think is better, Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson?
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun's better than Lamar Jackson. Deshaun Watson has a much better arm than Lamar Jackson.
Well, it's not only that, he's more complete. Like
Yes.
like Lamar's very one-dimensional, right?
Deshaun can be a pocket passer if you want him to be. Lamar
Right.
can't be a pocket
Dude,
passer.
Deshaun
His
is
accuracy
Hi,
is
Eliana.
booty. His
Oh, yeah,
accuracy.
hi.
Yeah, Liana.
Jackson's accuracy is booty.
Yes.
Okay. Watson is
true.
the complete quarterback. Okay, and he's played with some of the weakest links.
Watson has carried that team for years.
Yes, he
Now
has.
they're talking about
Hey.
getting rid of JJ too.
dude. Let's be brutally honest. There's not a guarantee the Texans are even moving him.
No,
Like
No,
True.
because
He's under
they are
contract.
still- the last statement from the Texans was
we're keeping him.
Deshaun is our quarterback. We have no
How
interest in trading him
miserable.
whatsoever. Yes.
yeah.
How
Y'all, did y'all see my meme as to
Mm.
what Deshaun would do if they don't trade him?
Yes.
Show up to camp weighing 300 pounds.
Jeez.
Trust me, if Watson's not happy there, they really should deal him, because if they don't, that he's going to be a disgruntled player which may affect his play,
And his stock will go down.
and his stock will drop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then when they try to get rid of him, they won't get nearly as much as they would have gotten if they trade him now.
Right.
And besides, they're rebuilding. If they're in a rebuild, they should be trying to get at least a
Picks.
quarterback that can.
Well, they need to get
Play.
picks too. They don't have any picks, Elliot. They don't have any
But that's
picks.
that's what I'm saying. They got to go get those picks. And how do you get those picks? You fucking go get Deshaun Watson.
Well, going on to the elephant in the
give
room
up
that
Deshaun Watson.
Nosy was talking about. The Rams gave up 2 picks to get Jared Goff. Now they're giving up 2 picks to get rid of Jared Goff. So here we go.
Hey.
There's the other drama. Jared Goff,
The
the
NFL is,
Lions.
hey, you know
Matt
how they say
Stafford.
the NFL stands for not for long?
Right. So
Yeah,
Matt
well-
Stafford gets traded to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
The Rams are immediate NFC West contenders with that addition. And the
Mhm.
Lions are still in mediocrity. That's basically what
Great
bottles down to. The Rams
The Lions got the 3rd round draft pick this year.
Yep.
And then 1st round in 2022 and 23.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. So it's not immediate help, that's a tough sell. Like you can, like a Lions fan, let's talk for Nosy, seeing that, he's here. He, on paper, you're like, oh, I got all these drafts, but it's not immediate help. Like it's like, what is going to happen this year? Jared Goff?
2 or 3 years down the line.
Right. 2 to 3 years down the line.
Now here's an interesting 3-team trade that's been pushed out there for involving Deshaun. Okay, Bill Barnwell of ESPN detailed a potential trade that sends Derek Carr to the Indianapolis Colts, Marcus Mariota and their next 3 first-round picks to the Texans. And in return, the Raiders get Watson and a 2022 third-round pick. The Colts send this year's third-round pick to the Raiders and next year's 4th-round pick to the Texans.
Good grief.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot, but they're now the Raiders
Shades of
all of a sudden, I think, can
Shades of
compete
that
with Kansas
Houston,
City.
Sage of the Houston trade in the NBA earlier this season that sent the beard to the Nets.
That's a lot of moving
Harden.
parts.
And
James
you
Harden.
don't see trades like this much in the NFL. That's what
There's been a lot of trades recently.
Yeah,
like
recently.
recently there's been a lot of trades.
Because the cap's coming down.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole different landscape as that cap starts to come down because of the COVID shit.
Well, that's the reason why the Rams wanted to unload Goff is because of his.
They had to.
Yeah, they had
This
to.
$100 million contract.
Yeah, it was a bad deal to begin with. They
And,
never
and Matthew Stafford gives them instant
Hi,
consideration
Bill.
NFC Championship.
Hey, Bill Clarky, what's up, buddy?
Nick Clarky.
Oh, and by the way, Bill's out there. You said Bill Clark.
Yeah.
Bill, you never had anything to worry about. Matthew Stafford had no intention of going to New England.
That's
said
one
it
place he
himself.
did not want to go.
Yeah, he said it
Oh.
himself.
All the AFC East teams can line up for the plethora of quarterbacks that are on the market this year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like obviously I listen to a lot of Bill's podcasts and stuff, and it's so funny. Like that was the recurring theme this week was just like, it's cool on one side. It's like, we don't have to worry about anything for quarterback. We're good. But where was all this wealth of available quarterbacks for the past 20 years? Like it was never like this. Like think of the guys that are on the market right now. Like franchise guys, top 5 guys. And it's funny. It's like it's blessing and a curse, right? It's like this year, finally, you get all this wealth of stuff.
I mean, there's even talk of Aaron Rodgers wanting out of Green Bay. I mean, even that's on the field.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it can happen. We got a nice number 12 waiting for him in San Francisco, which we should have many years ago. We drafted Alex Smith.
Yeah.
That created Aaron Rodgers,
You created
it
of San Francisco.
It put a major chip on his shoulder.
Created the San Francisco 49ers
Even
are
said it.
responsible for Aaron Rodgers.
San Francisco is going to be sorry they didn't draft me.
Well,
he said it right when they were interviewing him when he got picked.
It's not funny.
Aaron
It's
Rodgers, since
okay,
that
dude.
draft, Aaron Rodgers has 1 ring. Frisco has 0.
Hey, let's troll the Lions fans a little bit, because I
Go
just want to go over the past 20 years or something for Lions fans. So they've had arguably one of the greatest running backs of all time, nothing else. Then they have arguably one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, nothing else. And then they had a really, really good wideout. And look, they all decided to show up today. Are you kidding me? You guys all just open up the door. You want to come? Everybody wants to come now. Of course they do. Sorry, guys. I'll mute myself.
Don't you have a lock on that door, John? You don't have a lock on your door?
Another couple of teams that I left out of the equation there for Watson is the Jets.
He has shown a preference to go to the Jets because of the new head coach and all that long, the new way of doing it.
And the thing is that the Jets, Houston could be smart to trade Watson to the Jets, get Sam Darnold.
Yeah, does he?
Okay. And then figure out the draft pick shit afterward. Of course, Jets will have to give up the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
But come on.
They want to see.
You get Darnold, you get a number 2. You probably get another number 1 and maybe something later.
Well, also Jacksonville's in that mix too, because Jacksonville it's been rumored that maybe if Jacksonville wants to give up the number 1 pick to Houston.
Yeah, but you know what? They got their mind set on Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, they're going
Urban Meyer is not going to go.
Urban Meyer wants to coach Trevor Lawrence. That's basically what it boils down to.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I think Urban Meyer would be the perfect coach for Trevor Lawrence coming out. I don't think you stick a lead quarterback with a college football coach to start his career that way.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doesn't come in with any credibility on an NFL level.
Right.
And that wouldn't be Watson's preference.
No. So boils down to the Lions actually stole Jared Goff because the Rams give up so much to get rid of him.
I wouldn't say it was robbery. I would just say it was taking care of business before business took care of them.
Right. Okay. Good point. And Matt Stafford gets out of Detroit, which he wanted to get, which he wanted to do in the first.
Finally gets a chance to be on a legitimate title contender. Not to mention that the NFC West just got a lot spicier than it already is.
Correct. I mean that defense was interesting. That division was interesting already as it was. So
imagine if you tossed Deshaun Watson in that division.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks in that division. I mean, you got Watson and you got Wilson, and then you got
Watson, Wilson,
and Murray,
and Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
that's better than any division in the NFL.
I mean the three running quarterbacks are, and Matt Stafford's pretty limber for being 32 as well.
I really believe that they should trade 2 NFC East teams to the NFC West.
put them in the NFC East. That way we can have a balance. You know what I'm saying? At least the division winner will have a winning record at this point.
Because I mean, you could easily get 3 wild cards out of the NFC West.
There you go.
If Deshaun Watson went and all that. So, but anyway, on the Matt Stafford Goff blockbuster, I mean, it's a blockbuster because of the names involved. And really, did anybody see the Rams and Matthew Stafford coming from anywhere?
No.
I mean, it came.
Everybody was saying Stafford to the Colts.
Yeah, they were saying
That was-
Stafford to the Colts. They were saying Stafford to the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? And
the
those make
Rams.
sense. But the Rams?
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, you know, hey.
It ain't my team.
They got Jared Goff,
Oh,
who actually has been a major disappointment in the NFL since the 3 points he put up in the Super Bowl a couple years back.
hmm
That was kind of a like the Goff and Wentz draft was kind of,
That's
Yeah.
what.
you
That's
know,
what
you
went
always
downhill.
do like it was kind of a reach with them, and they went like 1 and 2, and you're just kind of like,
Wentz gets his knee knocked out, and then Big Dick Nick comes in and wins the Super Bowl. Okay. And then, I mean, it's just a mess. It's just.
I mean, and Philly's got a decision to make too with
Wentz.
Wentz and who and God, what is his name?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Excuse me. Thank you, Elliot, for
Hey, he's, you know what? He's Mellencamp approved. Hurts so good.
that.
he's been
Now the
waiting
dad
all
jokes are
night.
just rolling out this
Yeah.
I'm telling you what.
Thought a long time about that one,
Yes,
didn't
he
you?
did.
Yeah, he did.
Actually, I've been using it for a while now.
But yeah, I mean, those two. I mean, and the new head coach of Philadelphia, Mr. Nick
Who?
Sirianni,
Who?
right?
Exactly.
Says that he
I
has-
recognize the first 4 letters in his last name.
Yeah, Siri.
Dude, Nosey's so mad.
I know he ain't. I know
It's awesome.
wow.
Bro, it's okay, man. It's you know, you see, this is the thing. You got to expand your horizons. Like, why are you suffering? Like the Lions have given you no hope. At least the Bills got the Super Bowls. Like, I have an excuse. At least we saw potential glory. What have the Lions done? Like,
Nothing.
just
Hey,
abandon
Eagles
ship,
fan-
bro.
Are there any Eagles fans out there right now?
No,
Ugh.
not on the show right now. No.
Did you
Mhm.
see the first press conference for Nick Sirianni?
Good God.
I heard about it, but
That's
I-
ugly. That's very
Well, not
ugly.
as bad as Dan Campbell going out and saying
You know what
they're
they said?
biting off kneecaps.
Yeah, you know what they said? What they're saying in Philly? That the Eagles replaced. they replaced Andy Griffith. I mean, no, they replaced Gomer Powell with what's his name? Deputy, what's his name?
Barney Fife.
Marty
25?
Fife. There you go.
for everybody that wasn't
That's what
born in the
they're saying in Philly.
20s, that apparently is very funny.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I know
Gotta
that
throw
we were
you guys, you know.
I know we were there.
Since you're the
Yeah.
baby of the group here, John, you know, we
That's okay.
apologize for
It's
those retro comments. And
Yeah, since you're,
Yeah, I like reminding you guys.
hey, since you're the freshest out of diapers.
It's okay.
But no, that's basically what it comes down to. I think the Eagles have become a
Clarky. Can you see what Clarky just said?
Yes.
That goes back to MSN guys, MSN days.
What a waste, Lloyd.
It was a waste of breath anyway. That's okay.
Hi, Mike.
So what do you guys think about Dan Campbell with Detroit?
Dan Campbell with Detroit. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's not. I mean, he was an interim coach at Miami for most of the season at one time, and he did okay. He didn't do great, but I mean, just his press conference tells me it's going to be a different atmosphere in Detroit than it has been the last 2 years under Patricia.
But it's still the same ownership, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the problem lies.
easy knows it. I don't know.
Thank you, Wayne.
That's where the problem lies, is in the ownership. Because you know what? You can do everything that you want to do, but if the ownership says,
Well, the owner's in her 90s, so I mean,
Mhm.
she's probably got some lackeys that go right along with her.
right.
You don't think she's preparing for death?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wayne goes out and then puts the elephant in the room. The Lions have not won a championship since 1957. That's and that's long. Browns have won.
Isn't that around Brown's time too?
No, Browns. It was 64 for the Browns. Thank you very much, Elliot.
They've only won one playoff game in that time too.
Yes. So,
Oh, look, here comes the Bears fans. Look at all the AFC North guys that are coming in. NFC North guys coming
Mike
in.
Dell.
talking smack. No. Chunky's in here to take that stupid Buffalo Bills background down. How did the Bears do again, Chunk? How's your quarterback situation there, buddy? How are the Bears doing?
Trubisky.
Yeah. Trubisky. Yeah. The Fridge Perry and McMahon are not coming to save you this year, buddy. So the 4-6 defense is not happening.
Sweetness ain't nowhere in your orbit.
Yeah, not even in your. It's not even close. It's like another galaxy. Better than
Man isn't even all there. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
right,
Kansas City
right.
It's okay. It's okay, Chunk. It's okay.
The Bears.
Wayne's got a point. He needs to not worry about biting the kneecap. Go after the soft tissue behind the knee.
And there's a team that should go after Deshaun Watson is freaking Chicago, dude.
Yeah.
Chicago should go after.
Yes,
Deshaun
they
Watson.
should. They
Yeah.
absolutely should. And Nosey's now going to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Get a bandwagon Kansas City now, John. Do you see that?
Dude, it's fine. Like, I don't hate Kansas City. I mean, I
Right.
think they're dirty, but I mean,
Yeah, I
whatever.
think they're
They
dirty.
are.
I mean, they should. Yeah, they are dirty. They are.
Getting back to
Can we-
Watson
Can
going
we go off on that real quick?
Yes, let's go off. We didn't even get to talk about championship weekend because we weren't here last weekend.
Right.
I'm not
Oh,
going to rant.
we can
Don't
talk
worry.
about
Anyway.
That's no problem.
Yeah, I forgot we weren't here last week, and I didn't realize that we should have put that on the rundown.
Eh.
First of all, John, my condolences to you and the Buffalo Bills fans. Congratulations on a great year, but that was an embarrassment for the Bills.
Yeah, but
Their
it's
performance was just embarrassing.
I can't explain to you how it didn't phase me. Like, you think it would. You think I'd be like all
Well,
depressed.
I
like,
was
it
in the
sucked?
chat with you the whole time.
Yeah, I was like,
you were really going
whatever.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season the Buffalo Bills would be the AFC Championship and went 13-3, I'd say all day, every day, thank you. Like, we went, 6-0 against the AFC East? Okay.
Look, here's the
Cool.
thing. Okay. Buffalo had probably their most representative season since the Jim Kelly days.
Yes,
Okay.
far and away.
This season.
Yes.
Although people had high expectations, I really don't believe they were that particularly high, but they did it. And the only reason they're not in the Super Bowl is because they got beat by a better team that has more weapons.
And more immorality issues, but that's a whole nother thing.
And I'm sorry, but they've been there, they've done that, and they know how to do it again.
Oh, now knows he's calling you out, John.
But it doesn't affect me. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. Like, it doesn't. Even the O.J. Simpson jokes, it doesn't affect me at all.
How many of you fans out there would not want to be in John's position where you made it to the championship?
I'm happy as hell.
I got a
Dude,
team. I got a team that made it to the divisional round, and I wanted to be.
You
in
didn't
that.
make the playoffs.
our biggest drama in the offseason is, do we re-sign an O-lineman or a linebacker? That's our big problem going into the offseason. Cool. Shore up the defense, get some good draft picks. Sure. Any of the free agents want to come in? Sure. But we're not sitting there like the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions.
Let me ask you a
Jim.
question, Don.
Hi,
Do
Jim.
you believe that Devin Singletary is a short-term option for Buffalo?
No, this is the thing, because they're talking about those two kids, the kid from, where is he from, Alabama, and the other guy
Yeah.
from, I don't know, whatever. I don't
the
watch
kid from
football.
Alabama who was a finalist for the
Right.
Heisman. Yes.
They're saying he'll probably be there because the Bills got 30th. So do you spend your 30th pick on a running back? Because it's worked for some people. Like, look what KC did. They got a running back first round last year. Worked out great. But
And he was the last pick of the first
he
round.
was the last pick. So I'm not getting
Well,
mad
they
at all.
need an every
Chucky.
down
I
back.
don't- I am so happy. I don't think you understand. The Buffalo
No,
Bills
Right.
AFC Championship game.
You know what? John's in a perfect position. You know why? Because he can celebrate the fact that his team is finally on the map again, as far as the NFL goes. And the future is only brighter than this season.
And you know, and it is the same. I feel for the Browns. The same. The future is bright. You know, they're going to have cap issues in the next couple of years, but I think, and to be honest, I think Buffalo is in a better position right now.
I think Bills have the better quarterback.
They do. I think the Bills have the better quarterback.
Which is why you'd be fucking insane to turn down a Sean.
Okay, whatever.
And a better wide receiver.
When you can
I'll take
admit that Josh Allen is better than Baker Mayfield,
Now,
and
see, I will have to say
probably
this.
better than Josh Allen.
Baker Mayfield does not give up 20-yard sacks.
What does that mean?
but
As
Baker
yeah,
Mayfield doesn't have the DNA that Josh has. That
True.
killer.
Josh
And
needs to
you
work
didn't
on
have
him throwing the ball away when he's in trouble, as opposed to running.
He'll learn it, dude. It's his
As
third
opposed
year.
to keep
He'll
running
learn it.
backwards.
He'll learn it. He'll learn it. And he's got his OC again next year.
Right.
I think Watson's head is on a more level plane than Mayfield himself. So
Can I speak?
I'd take Watson over Mayfield in a
Go
heartbeat.
ahead, Gam. What are you gonna say?
I mean, he could
I
always
wanted
move.
to say something on behalf of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought it was bullshit that he got fined for throwing the football at the Chiefs guy. That
Yes.
back
Yes.
in.
And there was another
Oh,
I think
the
an
whole thing.
lineman that got fined for the same play on the same.
Well, then wasn't that what kicked off the whole nonsense of the?
Well, it started with Buddy Boy. What's the guy? The big defensive guy on KC.
Tyrann Mathieu.
No, the big guy in the line. What's
The line.
long?
you're
Not
talking
long.
about. Yeah.
What's his name? Chris? Not Chris. Is it?
I don't know.
Anyways, he took a
can't
swing
remember.
at Feliciano.
Oh,
Like,
I
literally
know who you're
punched-
talking about. You're
Yeah.
talking
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know he's
No
Chris
penalty.
Jones.
Chris Jones. That's it. Right.
Jones.
So that happened all game, and then you're seeing all the tugging. Like they always listen. I'm gonna give the DBs on Kansas City. They played them tight. They played, but there was a lot of tugging, like a lot of it that you didn't see on
a lot
camera,
of it.
and they got away with it.
Yeah.
They totally got away with it.
Yeah.
So it was frustrating.
Well, then they got away with a head-to-head hit the week before against the Browns. So I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
the NFL loves the cheeks because Pat Mahomes is the star quarterback.
Yep. That's
being
one side of it.
being the defending champs has its privilege.
Yeah.
And also,
So it is what it is.
One-
Like,
Mr. Child.
When Jones
But I don't get.
sacked,
Hey, listen. In that whole scenario with the ball throwing and the guys scrumming and all that, what I couldn't understand, and I know you guys were talking last week about ridiculous rules. How does one team get a unsportsmanlike conduct, another team gets an unsportsmanlike conduct and 2 personal fouls, and those are offsetting penalties?
Yes.
that was weird.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. The other team commits 3 fouls and they get no penalty whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
bullshit.
3-1. It was offsetting. Give me a freaking break.
It's a bullshit, dude.
It's dumb, dude.
Well-
Well, whatever. It's
Allen got thrown to the ground after the whistle had
After the
blown. Why
whistle.
isn't that
Yeah.
unnecessary roughness?
yeah.
That should have been
It's-
15 yards right there. And the fact that he
Was
threw
he
the ball,
outside-
I don't
was he
blame him
outside the
for what
pocket?
he had to do.
Out
No,
the
but he was
Outside the pocket?
No, but he was 20 yards back. Like that's the thing.
yards
So,
back, yeah.
but the refs blew it dead.
still a
Like
running
you
back.
heard it,
He's still
and then
around.
Jones like tackles him extra, or Okafor did it extra hard or something.
Yeah.
And then our lineman just had enough of it. Came in, and Josh threw the ball at his head, and he didn't even
Yes.
throw it. It was kind
It
of
was
like
just a toss. It was,
No, he
But that's
tossed
your
it.
thing. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what? They've thrown personal fouls in that scenario all the time. Anytime somebody throws a ball at somebody, it's what they call the what's that rule?
taunting.
Taunting. Basically
Taunting.
taunting. It's part of the taunting
Well,
rule.
he didn't get flagged for it, but he got fined for it. So
Right.
Yeah.
The referees missed it,
Yeah.
but the NFL didn't.
right. But Chris
And now-
Jones
and now
didn't
the
get a
Chiefs
single thing.
fans are
You don't throw a
talking
ball
about
at
how
somebody.
dirty the Bills are.
You just can't throw a ball at another player. It's in the NBA, you get a technical foul for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw a ball at another player.
Oh, but see, he owned up to it. That's the best thing about
no,
Josh.
I
Like,
agree.
he owned up to it. He was like,
And
that
they
was
were,
like
and they
my
approached each
emotions,
other
like-
soon after the play was over. They squashed it as soon as the play was over. There was no animosity there or anything. And I think that Josh Allen's throw at him was a playful one.
And I think it was more frustration than anything else as well.
But
It
the
was
bottom line
frustration,
is, you know what? It's like when you graze a referee unintentionally. You just made contact with the ref, you're done.
You're out.
You know what I'm saying?
Have a
It
shower.
doesn't matter if it was accidental or whatever. You make contact with a ref, you're done. Same thing, same concept.
But what are we
If I
doing
ever
for?
entertained any thought of rooting for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That went out the window. I am hoping. I'm hoping.
Can I make a statement? Never thought
Yeah.
I would say this.
The Chiefs made you bet Tampa Bay believers again.
Yes, the Chiefs made me Tampa Bay rooters once again. So go Bucks. Go
I'm definitely hoping.
Go
the
Brady.
Bucks
Brady.
shove it up their asses.
I'm all for it.
Don't
Let's
forget
go,
Devin
Tommy.
White. Don't forget Devin White in that crazy ass defense too.
I hope Tampa Bay does to them what they did to the Raiders in 2002.
There you go.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think the difference.
Oh,
between,
no, Nosy is just poking the bull here, John. Look at him.
I think the difference. I think the difference between Patrick Mahomes and Rich Gannon is quite vast.
Well, plus the Bucks aren't going to know the plays before the snap either, so
Hold
that's
on.
all good.
Hold on. This guy's attacking my country. Can I
Yes.
can I rebuke? Can
Absolutely.
I do a little rebuttal?
Certainly.
Okay. Oh, America,
Right.
America! You don't have free health care.
Yeah, and did you get your certificate yet, John, that you were looking for earlier?
Oh wow.
That's all right.
Have you got
checkmate
children's
right
birth
there.
certificates yet that you requested?
No. It's. Listen, I'm not going to say it's perfect. I mean, it's definitely not.
Canada
but-
doesn't recognize that your children are alive.
Yeah, my kids don't exist apparently. That's okay. That's all right. That's fine. That's it. I'm never watching you guys again. Oh, we love you, Matt. You're such a good sport, man. It's not our fault that your team blows donkey. Okay, it's not
Hey.
our fault.
I got a question for you. What does Matthew Stafford's departure do to the value of DeAndre Swift under Jared Goff? Because DeAndre Swift is the deal. That dude can ball. All right, and he was balling under Stafford. Can he do the same under Goff?
Stafford's a more accurate quarterback and is better under pressure. I mean, you guys remember back a few years ago when the Lions were playing the Browns and Stafford broke his collarbone on one play. There was a timeout after that play, and he came back in with a fractured left clavicle and threw a touchdown pass to beat the Browns with a broken clavicle. Give me a break.
But my question
Or
was,
collarbone. Excuse me. I think it's the same thing.
but my question
Same
was,
thing.
does the presence of Goff affect the value of DeAndre Swift?
Only if Goff can get him the ball, and there's no guarantee he can do that either.
Well, you know what? I'm going to disagree because guess what? Cam Akers was doing really good under Jared Goff. So DeAndre Swift should do just as well. Okay. Jared Goff's problem is his inaccuracy. Okay. He's got hell of a bunch of receivers, dude. He's got Robert Woods. He's got
Cooper Kupp.
Cup. You know what I'm saying? He's got the okay tight ends in Higbee and what's his name? Forget the other guy's name. But anyway, Cam Akers is going to be the guy there. All right, and I think that is what's going to help Stafford a lot. You know, what I'm saying? Because he's going from DeAndre Swift to Cam Akers. Not a big leap.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. All right, let's talk about the
forget,
other game last week. Tampa Bay and
Don't forget
Green
the
Bay.
slot receiver too.
Tampa Bay and Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, once again, in an NFC Championship game, can't get it done for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers should be the angriest quarterback in the NFL right now, outside of Deshaun Watson.
Why?
He is.
Because his coach discount double crossed him.
No, not the stat, but because they got a front office that refused to go out and get him weapons. He doesn't have enough weapons in the receiving core. His running game is okay. I mean, he's got Aaron Jones, so it's not bad. But I mean,
Wait. Time out.
Yeah, I was going to
Time
say.
out.
well, Aaron
just
Jones is a
say
great
that
back.
Aaron
He-
Rodgers
he's a step
doesn't
back.
have
He's a
weapons?
great back. Huh?
You just said that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have weapons?
He has a lot
Hello?
more weapons than.
Devontae Adams.
Well, no, he doesn't have enough weapons.
Hello, Aaron Jones.
But wait a second. Wait a
Going back,
second. You know what? I have to push back on that as well. Because for the longest time, up until that championship game, everybody was talking about how unstoppable the Packers are. Because Aaron Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder after they went out and got Jordan Love, traded up, got a quarterback and not a wide receiver for him, blah, blah, blah. And Green Bay went off offensively against certain teams, but Tampa got their number.
Well, and not only that, the way that the head coach called the game, I mean, they didn't go for it on fourth down when they probably should have either. So, I mean,
Well, here's the thing. He got out coached by Tom Brady. Matt LaFleur. He got out coached by Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady's running that offense.
Well,
Byron
and again,
Leftwich,
that's what.
Byron
Yeah,
Leftwich
that's
might
what.
have the fucking clipboard and
Well, Arians has already said that he's letting Tom coach. He's
That's
letting coach.
that's what I'm saying. And in the process, Byron Leftwich gets an education on how to be an offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the thing is that what's his name in Green Bay, LaFleur, isn't willing to concede that to Aaron Rodgers, to give him the opportunity to run the offense. Because you know what? He would have gone for it on 4th and 8.
Absolutely. Well, it was
Okay.
4th and 9, but yeah.
Everybody argues that, oh, well, they got the 3 points, then they go down, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, you got the ball at the 8-yard line. You got Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. You fucking go for it, okay? Because even if you don't make it, you're still within 1 score.
Yep.
And Brady's on the 8 or 9 yard line instead of you kicking it off, giving them extra yards, because one person made an argument, well, it was only 17 more yards. 17 yards is gold in the NFL.
Especially with Tom Brady by under center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole different scenario to start your drive from an 8 than from the 25.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, on that 3rd down play before the field goal, he had the entire right side of the field.
He could have
wide
run that
open.
ball in the end
He
He's
zone.
run it right in. He's done it
He got
dozens
spooked.
of times.
But you know why?
Why?
Because
Didn't
that's
throw
why.
and run it in.
But that's because he's always Devontae Adams first. And because he stretches it out so far to try to get the ball to Devontae Adams, he winds up getting himself locked up in situations he shouldn't be in. Okay. Bottom line, though, is that your defense, which is sketchy already, has a better chance of stopping them with left field position behind Brady than with more field position behind him. And that's the thing. Matt LaFleur made a colossal blunder because either way, you were going to give Brady the ball back, but I'd rather see him get it at the 8.
That's why when you're inside the 10-yard line, you go for it as opposed to kicking it off. I mean, you got to do that because it's field position.
Right.
It's always field position.
I mean, come on, look at the
And again,
quarterback.
if your Brady runs off a 90-yard drive on you, you deserve to lose the freaking game anyway. So, I mean,
If you have that much confidence in your defense, because that's what LaFleur said, oh, yeah, I got confidence. Fuck you and your fucking bullshit defense, okay? If you had confidence in your defense, then you would have went for it. And if you didn't make it, your defense would have had a hell of a shot stopping them at the 8.
and getting better field position at the end, at the end of it.
Well, the Packers' biggest defensive breakdown was that touchdown pass they allowed right before halftime.
That was one of the worst coaching decisions. Oh my God! And you know what? That was on the bullet.
That's on the board. Mike Pettin,
That's
Mike
why Scott Pettin got
the
fired.
former Cleveland coach.
Exactly how he got fired.
Scott Pettin used to be the head coach of the Browns. If you guys don't remember, he was the head coach of the Browns at one point in time.
Mike Pettin.
Mike Pettin, excuse me. Mike Pettin was the head coach of the Browns at one point in time. My name recall is terrible.
He hated him so much he forgot his name.
So, but yeah, and now the Green Bay let him go because his contract is over and they're not going to re-sign him. Well, because of your stupid play call at the end of the first half of the NFC Championship. What are you doing running that kind of defense? And then instead of playing, which I hate to say, playing a prevent defense to keep the outside covered, for it to be going long.
You know what I saw when I saw that Scotty Miller play? I saw poetic justice, because that fucking little motherfucker number 20 King, he was all over the field, cocky, celebrating every little fucking thing he did.
And he got
He
burned.
got fucking burnt.
Yep.
His name is Melba, and he's nothing but fucking toast.
There you go.
That's what happens, dude. Don't fucking
Yeah,
around.
Bill Clarkey makes a good point. Hell, the Chiefs went for it on 4th down with Chad freaking Henne. Give me a break.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was
Dude.
only 4-1. They went. I mean, come on. He goes 14 yards on 3rd down.
Don't blame it only on Green Bay, because in the Bills game, McDermott did the same thing with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It was 4th and goal and 4th and like
Mm.
2 or something 2 times, and he kicked field goals.
Okay, so
Against
what
the
do
freaking
And you know what?
Kansas
What
City
do
Chiefs.
McDermott-
No,
what
you
do-
do not win against Kansas City kicking fucking free of field goals.
Look,
You're
what-
not. You don't.
what do okay? And what do McDermott and LaFleur have in common? They're both green behind ears when it comes to championship game situation.
Just still learning, basically.
Still
is what I'm
learning,
trying
yeah.
to say, yes.
Yeah.
They got out coached by more experienced coaches,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Why is my
Okay. So yeah, chalk
Guys,
it up.
I gotta run, take a break. I'll be right back. I gotta
Chalk it up to inexperience
quit
on
so
the
I can
co-
quit
from the
squirming in my
coaches.
seat. I'll be right back.
in
stop
both
drinking
those
so much, man?
leagues. Arians and I'm sorry, Brady and Reed did a great job of coaching in the championship.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's that was another big thing. But you're not like to us. We're pissed off, but it's not like, oh, McDermott needs to get his head chopped or nothing. Like it's just
No,
like you said,
no.
it's a learning experience. They're young coaches in the NFL.
I think the
You know.
situation I think LaFleur's situation had so much more magnification and much more at stake than the mistakes that McDermott made at that point in time,
Yeah.
Right.
because it was right there at the end of the game, and you went totally against the grain of leaving the hand in your elite quarterback's hands
Yeah. The
in a
MVP.
game-tying or game-winning situation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that was another question all week. I was listening to podcasts and stuff, and like which one was the worst? Was it the McDermott or was it the LaFleur? And it's like, I think it's the Green Bay, because first of all, it's in Green Bay.
I think it was LaFleur because of the timing of the call.
But it's
Yeah.
also in their
If
home
he
stadium.
if he doesn't go for it on 4th and 8 in the first half, that's no big deal, right?
Right. Yeah.
But you don't go for it on 4th and 8 with a couple minutes left in the game. And yeah, I know you got all your 3 timeouts, but guess what? You ain't been able to stop Brady all day except when you
Right.
picked off 3 deflected passes.
Still a 2-score game.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Chalk it up.
Brady
All
gave them 3 chances to take the lead in that game. 3 interceptions. And you know what they got out of those 3 interceptions? 6 points. 6 points
2
for
field
3
goals.
interceptions.
That's insane.
I tell you,
Yeah,
the thing
that
that
hit me
impressed
hard
me-
too, Elliot. Yes, because when I saw that, it's like, God, they had 3 chances to get to make a drive at it and get points, and they got field goals. What the hell? What happened to that offense? They sucked in the second
Yeah,
half.
the 3 interceptions, they got 2 field goals and nothing.
Yeah, they sucked in the second half. I'm sorry, Ken, I ran over you. I apologize. What were you saying?
No, all I was going to say is the thing that impressed me the most with Josh Allen at the end of the game was when he went over every single player on the sidelines and
That's called maturity,
told
dude.
them.
That
That was
kid's full
totally
of maturity.
class.
I saw
And,
his interview
I-
the other day
I
on the NFL.
appreciated that.
I saw his interview on the NFL Network the other day. Kid's pretty brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, and the relationship him and Diggs have is you can see it's like so legit and genuine. And dude, it's like, I love seeing that. And then he goes around and hugs everybody. But Diggs, that picture where he's sitting there watching the Chiefs celebrate.
Yeah,
And then you got on top of that, you got
there's a kid from Cincinnati, I think, in college that
did
did
the
that
same
too.
thing.
Did the same
Yeah.
thing, yes. Wayne
you-
brings up a good point, Kenny. He says, "Do you think LaFleur did it this way to show did it his way or to show I'm in charge?" No,
Better
I
not
think
have been I'm in charge.
yeah, I pretty much think he wanted to try send a message to Aaron Rodgers. He's in charge. I got a message for you, Mr. LaFleur. You ain't in charge. It's Aaron's team, and you need to make sure you gauge your game plan around Aaron Rodgers because he's
Yeah, but it's a little too late because Aaron didn't look very happy
he's
in the
not.
post
didn't.
games.
He never
not.
he
Did
never
you
looked
see him
happy.
those last couple minutes on the bench?
He's pissed,
He was pissed.
Yeah, man.
I've seen that one before too.
and he's been
Last
sending
3
signals.
years.
And he's been sending signals after that game that it may be his time in Green Bay may be up if he finds the right
It
situation.
was even before that game.
San Francisco.
Because he's getting
It's,
tired.
Hey, you know what? If he goes to
mystery.
the 49ers, he goes home. He's from Northern California.
Yeah, he was.
But he's been wanting to put it to the Niners ever since he was drafted because they overlooked him. So I don't know if that's going to be such a great homecoming or not.
Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? It could
I don't
call,
wanna-
it could be called
Yeah.
bury the hatchet,
Back on
and I can
Green
finish
Bay.
my
And he's got a championship.
and I can finish my career at home around my people.
Because the auto rates went up.
And just think what that head coach can do with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, first of all, he's going to have a legit running game. He's going to have, and he's going to have George Kittle.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna have a legit tight end for a change too. So yeah.
On the right.
Which is why I think Watson needs to go to.
Oh, here he is, Derek Laughlin in the house, gentlemen. The bane of my existence, telling me to take Deshaun Watson.
Don't worry, Derek. We all set him
They
straight.
all agree with
Yeah,
you, Derek. So
Derek,
I'm in the
we set him
minority. It's all
straight, Derek. We set him straight. He might still be disillusioned and a homer and all that, but deep down inside, he knows we're fucking right, and so are you.
Oh, Derek Laughlin says he's not going to San Francisco. That's just fear talking, Derek. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? You're just worried you're going to lose your MVP quarterback because his head coach
He's
is
a Green Bay fan.
Because his head coach is an idiot.
Great coaching there,
Yeah,
Derek.
yeah.
What's your
So-
synopsis on Matt LaFleur's job in the conference championship?
Yeah, Derek, tell us about all that.
Come on, man.
The progressive commercials clouded his judgment. Good God.
Poor guy comes in here, and you guys are just gonna trash his team like that.
Yes, because he trashed mine, so it's all
Well,
good.
you're the Browns.
He's been
man.
trashing
That's
mine
not
for
hard.
5 years. Give me a break.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. If he would have had State Farm instead of Progressive, he could have avoided all that mayhem.
Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Oh wait, do we have Canada Dry sponsoring this week or no? Like,
Get your Canada Dry handy, Elliot. Where's it at? Come on.
Elliot,
bring it up.
what's going on, man? There you go.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Hey, listen, Bernie has it in the banner. Okay, he's got his little can of Canada Dry.
Yes, in our banner. Yes, he's got a little
American
Canada Dry in our banner.
flag,
Yes, I
so-
saw that.
He's representing.
Derek,
He loves our show. by the
I'm
way.
going to respond directly to you, Derek, as what I said to these guys earlier. Deshaun Watson is a much better quarterback than Baker, but it's a draft that is it's a trade that is likely not to happen more as opposed to it will happen because Baker, whether you like him or not, he is embedded and they are invested in Baker Mayfield to be their quarterback of the future, and that's how it's going to get. You guys said that to me not half
They're
an
not
hour
invested.
ago.
Hey, they're not invested in him yet because he's still under a rookie contract.
Oh God.
Investing in him is giving him
Weren't they? Wait.
a
Isn't Josh
supermax
Allen still under
contract.
rookie
That's
contract?
investing in
Isn't
him.
Josh Allen under his rookie contract still?
Sure. Yeah, it's his third year.
And are they not invested in Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Here we
But
go.
if something comes along
That's why.
is
Yeah.
better
Why?
than Josh Allen, why wouldn't
That's
he?
one of those.
That's why John saying, well, he's having maybe that might not be a bad idea.
It's not. It's something that you think about, but
Yes,
then
it
again,
It
If
is.
you think about it away from your heart
right. That's the key.
and from the business level, then you understand that no one, I tell you, NFL doesn't stand for just not for long. It stands for not for loyalty.
Right.
Yeah. Not effing loyal. Yeah.
Not effing loyal is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And just like that, I mean, again, somebody's going to have to wind up paying guys like Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield. But would you, if you had the chance to have Watson, wouldn't you rather it be somebody else that pays for those guys? Yeah,
Yeah.
because Watson gives you the entire package.
And Derek, I'm not saying if the opportunity and the deal is good enough,
I just don't think Cleveland's smart enough to make a move like that.
yeah, I think it would happen. No, the front office is a lot smarter than they were 2 years ago. So but
And again, I gotta put it out there because I got a big, huge Buffalo Bills banner behind me here. I in no way want anything to happen to Josh Allen. I'm very happy with Josh Allen. Thank you very much. But it's
But if you woke
Deshaun
up one
Watson.
morning, and found out that Josh
I would
Allen
be,
was replaced by Deshaun Watson, would you really be bummed out?
I'd be like, man, are you serious? Oh,
Derek, thank you for your.
look at that Alonzo Mourning meme. Like sitting on the bench, and it's like,
Well, okay.
I love Josh. Okay, I'm Team Josh. I love Josh, but it's Deshaun Watson, man. It's not Baker Mayfield.
Oh, thanks, John.
Wait, yeah, okay. Whatever.
Yeah, and to Derek's point, I agree. The play action has a lot to do with Baker's success. A lot to do with these because he's got a strong running game with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And again,
And I just don't think he plays from behind well either.
no, he doesn't play from behind well. And the problem is that the Browns, and another problem that's not discussed is the Browns do not have a deep threat. OBJ, I don't think, because I don't think when he comes back from that injury is going to be a deep threat. They need to try and find somebody who is speed. And they need to really shore up the defense. The defense was the reason for a lot of their losses this year. And that's the major point they need to go after in the offseason is that defense. And I've been saying it all season because that defense is just full of Swiss cheese right now. And
Why do you think I keep saying that Deshaun Watson and all these elite quarterbacks should be looking for teams that have an elite or close to elite tight end? Why? Last year's Super Bowl had the number 1 and number 2 tight ends in it. This year's Super Bowl is going to have the number 1 and the legend of Gronk in it.
I agree.
Okay.
That position, and we've been, especially this show, we've been mentioning the tight end play and how important it is for years. Like we've been saying that is like the new offense. Like the offensive coordinators in the league seem to really focus in on tight end play.
Because if you need a first down, the tight ends are the guys to go to right now.
I'm organizing a new group called Skilled Tight Ends Matter.
Skilled tight ends matter, yes. But see, this is the thing. Like, what's so funny is you hear all the talking heads and stuff about, the Bills gave up all these yards to Travis Kelce. It's Travis freaking Kelce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Dude, you look, here's your elites right now. Kelce, Kittle, Andrews, Waller, and then who?
Plug and play.
Then the drop happens.
Yeah, I see a lot of upside in the dude from Miami, Gesicki, but he's still not
on those 4
There you
guys'
go.
level.
There you go. You got your acronym.
STEM. Yeah, it's not science, technology.
STEM.
engineering.
That's your acronym. Skilled
Yeah.
tight ends matter. That's your
There you
acronym.
go. STEM.
STEM. I like it.
There you go. Thank you very much. Whoever put that out there.
And Derek, to your point about the offensive line, yes, the offensive line is a huge issue as far as offseason is concerned, because there are a lot of contracts that the Browns have to think about, including Jack Conklin at $13 million as a cap hit. So yeah, I agree. But yeah, you have to also understand and agree that the Browns were able to plug and play offensive linemen throughout the season due to injury and still have success. So even the backups on that team did a good job. I mean, the divisional play, the playoff against Pittsburgh is a perfect example. Some guy named Blake met Baker the day of the game in the locker room, for goodness sake. And he played left tackle and still protected Baker. So, I mean,
what you got to look at though too is that game against Pittsburgh. They were playing against a team that was self-imploding for weeks. Okay. And they self-imploded for 28 points.
It's
giving up.
You know what?
in
And
the
it's a beautiful thing, Elliot. It's
after
beautiful.
after the first quarter, Cleveland got outscored 37-20. So were it not for that first quarter, Cleveland would have been home that week.
Yep. I agree.
Right.
So,
but again, when you get a 28-point lead, tendency is to play safe, and that's what they ended up doing. And it could have ended up killing them in the end if they did that. So, but
sounds like a coaching problem to me.
John. But yeah, it was. You know what? And personally, it was glorious to see Pittsburgh fall from grace.
Oh yeah.
It was.
We called it in like week 3.
Yeah.
The only reason Pittsburgh made the playoffs is because they started 11-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their soft ass schedule contributed to it.
And now
that's
Pittsburgh has to worry
the
about.
astrics with Cleveland too.
They might have been
The
competing.
soft schedule.
They might have been competing with Cincinnati for the cellar if they didn't start 11-0.
Well, none of that, but now Pittsburgh has to worry about what they're going to do about $41 million cap hit with Ben Roethlisberger, and he wants to come back. So that's
he wants to come back, and you know what? They can't get rid of him.
No, they can't, and they have to figure out what they're
He's
going to
got
do.
him by the balls, dude. He's
Yeah.
got Pittsburgh by the balls.
Oh, Ben?
Yeah.
And I really do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to ban TikTok amongst their
That kid pissed
their
me
players.
off. I drafted him in fantasy too, man.
Juju's,
Why would you do that, John?
Because he was like the best wideout that I could get on that round. It was
Okay.
horrible.
Yeah,
you know.
Juju's not cracked all he's cracked up to be.
No.
Juju was the best Juju when Antonio Brown was playing
Right.
on the other side.
And when he started talking smack to Antonio Brown, that's when he went downhill.
Exactly. And he's
Look
no
who's in-
number
look
one.
who's in the
And
Super
he's no
Bowl now,
number
of all
one
people.
because guess who's the number one now in Pittsburgh? Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
If he can catch.
Well, Claypool too, right?
Oh, he had some issues. Who doesn't have issues with dropping the ball?
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
Well, and then and you know what? That was another key to Buffalo losing too. Stephon Diggs had what, 40 yards of offense?
He had not because they were covering the heck out of him. If you watch the replay, they were tugging the crap out of him too.
Yeah, and Dwayne Haskins is now in Pittsburgh. Don't forget, they picked up Dwayne Haskins, guys. Pittsburgh actually signed Dwayne Haskins.
No, what happened to Duck? Is Duck still around or is he gone?
No, they got Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. That's what they got.
I know that Mike Tomlin likes projects, so.
Well,
you
he's
know.
got a big one in Dwayne Haskins, let me just say.
But you know what? He might have to deal with it because Ben ain't going nowhere. So
Yeah.
maybe he can learn something from Ben in the year that he's there.
It's exciting. What a year. What a good year. of
Hey,
football.
we never got to David Culley, yo. Who? David who?
David who?
Oh, he's the
Cully, yes.
coach?
Houston hired David Cully as their new head coach.
Yeah.
Where's
Where
he
the
from?
hell
He's
did
from
that
Baltimore
come
or
from?
something?
That
Was he
was
from
a
Baltimore?
we want to keep Deshaun Watson move if I ever heard one.
Right.
Oh,
He-
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
position
I'm sure
coach.
Deshaun was
He was a position coach in Baltimore.
right.
Dude, the
Yeah.
moves that Houston has made have done nothing to impress Watson into wanting to stay there. And the fact that they're talking about getting rid of JJ too.
Well, JJ is going to force their hand on that one. I think he wants out. I think he's tired too. Because you
And
remember
you know
the guys.
what? Andre Johnson and JJ and a few other Houston Texans have basically laid it out there. Houston is a place where careers go to die.
Yeah, and JJ there was a clip of JJ walking up the field with Deshaun saying, "We wasted another year of your career, and I'm sorry." Basically, that's what he said.
That's why he wants out.
I want JJ to head up I-45.
Dude, he wants JJ in Dallas. Look
Want him
at
in
that.
Dallas, huh?
We need a.
Actually, I can see him going to Pittsburgh to play with TJ. Just saying.
We need an edge rusher in Buffalo. As long as
Hey, you
don't
know
give
what?
up
By
on
the
him.
way, if Baker goes to Houston, he could always do the progressive commercials from Energy Stadium.
Good God.
Pittsburgh would be interesting for him, though. Him and his brother. That'd be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. All three Watts on one team.
Megawatt.
Right? The Megawatt Steelers.
Megawatt.
I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid if I was the quarterback with the two Watt brothers.
Wayne would like him in San Francisco. I'm sure Elliott would as well.
Army says JJ in Dallas.
Army says JJ in Dallas, just like Ken.
Wouldn't that piss off Texans fans, huh? Wouldn't
Yes,
it?
it would.
Yeah?
Yes, yes, it
Love that
would.
interstate rivalry you guys
Does
got.
he even like Jerry Jones? Does he even like Jerry Jones?
I don't care if he wants Jerry Jones.
The
Just get the love in.
fan base don't like Jerry Jones. Who cares if the players don't like him? Give me a break.
Jerry
It's
Jones
ugly.
money spends just like anybody else's does.
Oh, Jesus God. The worst owner in, I'm sorry, he's the worst owner in football at this point, next to Dan Snyder. I swear to God, he really is.
Both in
you
the same
guys
division,
You
too.
guys had an owner issue too, right? Isn't your owner a fucking piece of shit too? His brother owns the Knicks.
I'm talking about that. That's the Indians owner, not the Browns owner. The Browns owner is Jimmy Haslam.
My
The
bad.
Indians owner is Dolan. Yeah, the Indians have the worst man and have the worst owner in baseball right at this point.
And
Okay,
his
so
brother's the worst the worst owner in basketball.
yes,
and-
correct. And he's related to the Knicks owner, so go figure how that works out.
I've been living with the Dolan nightmare for years, man. I get you.
I mean, the Indians are a hot mess right now. They gave away Lindor. They signed a couple of good hitters. Re-signed.
You guys know more about baseball than me, dude. What did the Jays do? We signed some guy from Houston or something.
Oh yeah, you guys shot George Springer. Houston's all-star.
Yeah, bring him into
All-star, dude.
Toronto.
What is
Yeah.
he?
You know what? Tampa's making some. I mean, Toronto's making some moves.
Yes, they are. They really are. So you
Okay,
need-
they're actually trying to be
you need to start
relevant.
reading the
No, the
Toronto
price-
You know what?
papers, John.
No, they seen what the Buffalo Bills did and said, you know what? We need to get on that train.
We need to get back to Buffalo quick. Stat.
Yeah, you need to start writing the Toronto papers again, John, so you can see what's going on with
Yeah,
the
Toronto.
Jays.
Hey,
Bro,
if,
I see it on Twitter
if
and I'm just like,
Toronto becomes relevant, we might actually get John engaged in some baseball.
dude, if
There you
listen,
go.
if that stupid franchise starts spending money,
Which they have
Okay,
started doing in the
If
offseason.
they have started doing.
okay, when COVID isn't around and it's empty baseball stadiums, then I'll pay attention. There's my excuse. Because that's really weird watching baseball games with no people in it. Well, no, it's not. 'cause
Derek
you're
is
used to
ranting-
it.
Any
Derek-
sport.
Derek
Anyone
is
in any
ranting about
sport.
Derek's ranting about Watt, so he says he wouldn't want Watt on my team as anything more than a situational pass rusher. He's played only 32 of possible 64 games over the past 4 years. He cannot stay healthy as a starting player anymore. Best case scenario, plays 15 to 20 plays a game as a pass rusher. Yeah, and if he gets 20 sacks a year playing that 15 to 20 plays, I want him on my freaking team.
Right, and that's the
Oh,
thing.
by
like,
the way, and he plays wide out too.
Yeah.
he does too. Yes, double threat.
I mean, if I can get double-digit sacks out of him for 15 to 20 plays a game, I'm all in on JJ Watt.
Right, but the price can't like. Is he still under contract? Right, it's not like so he'd have to get traded.
Right.
And Houston will have to
No,
probably
yeah.
pick up some of that contract.
They're like what would he like? Will Houston let go of him for a couple of round, like 2, 3, 4th round
Probably a
picks?
second or third rounder would probably be
Yeah.
what you're looking at.
Mhm.
I would say so. And they shed his contract as well. I mean, if they're really doing a rebuild, that's what they need to do. Get rid of Watt, get rid of Watson, start over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do it your way.
But
Because
JJ
right
Watt,
now, your way is looking the same way as the old way.
the fan base in Houston would be really upset because he has done so much good for that community.
Yeah.
But they understand.
Yeah.
Like I haven't heard any Texans fan going, "Oh, JJ's selling out." No,
No,
you
they
know.
won't do that.
They'll never criticize JJ Watt because of what he's done during for the community. Post hurricane and whatnot, he's done tremendous good for that community right now, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be loved by Houston forever, no matter where he goes. Even if he goes to Tennessee, he's gonna be loved. Doesn't matter.
He should be NFL Man of the Year every year.
Every year, exactly. Get rid of Bill Clark. He says, "Get rid of Hopkins." Oh wait, they already did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Matt LaFleur never gave Rodgers the Rodgers price.
Oh, speaking of that Danan D-Hop, did you see what that little skadoosh did this week?
No.
He was getting interviewed, and he got a chain created, and it's the 3 DBs from Buffalo.
Really?
Really?
The
The
Hail
3D
Murray.
recast the Hail Murray?
Yeah,
Elmer,
yeah.
That's
So everybody-
hilarious.
You know,
Hey,
everybody's
that's
like,
the
"Oh, he
way
had all the
it is.
time in the world because he was sitting at home watching the playoffs."
that's
You know?
that's the play of the year right there, dude. You gotta understand that.
That is the troll of the year. Excuse me.
No, the play itself was the play of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
He just took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares? I used to like D-Hop.
And
Now
you
I
know
hate
what though? You know
That's
what though? That Hail Murray lit a fire under your fucking team after
him. Oh,
that.
they did.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they ran.
the last
they
game
didn't
they
lose
lost
again.
was.
They didn't lose again until the
They
eighth.
ran the fucking table up until the championship game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so left on our time, we got half an hour to go. Maybe a little less. Cardinals Rockies trade. Ken brought this up to me. Nolan Arenado, and the reason he brought it up is because the Cardinals have now managed to steal a ton of talent over the last few years, and now are a contender in the NL Central.
They were the favorite now.
Yeah, John doesn't care, but that's okay. But Arenado was lamenting in baseball hell in Colorado at third base, languishing in hell at third base in Colorado, and now he goes to a contender. So I mean, the Cardinals got to be the odds-on favorite to win the NL Central this year, Ken, over the Cubs, right?
Mm-hmm. The Cubs did sign. Who did they sign? Jock Peterson the other day.
Yeah.
But they're
Does the loss of Leo Epstein hurt the Cubs?
Stay tuned. We shall see. I don't know. After he left the Sox, it took a while for us to move back up, but I'm anxious to see where he ends up going.
My little Yankee moment, I just want to say thank you and good luck to Masahiro Tanaka as he is going back
He
to play.
re-signed with the Japanese team, didn't he?
Back to Japan.
He's going back to Japan.
Sayonara.
So thanks for the memories, Mr. Tanaka.
And I'm gonna throw a bone to John. So John, you wanted to put Connor McDavid on the rundown. Here is your chance.
Here we go.
To praise
Right.
the abilities and the accomplishments of who is Connor McDavid.
The
What?
floor is yours.
The floor is yours, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Sell us Connor McDavid.
What to tell me?
Me either.
Dude, I'm not
But I'm
playing
talking
around
about
with
the
this.
audience. Sell him to the audience.
All
I'm
six of them.
I'm not. Yeah, listen. I'm not playing this silly game.
Okay.
If you guys don't know who Connor McDavid is, you guys should all because. Anyways,
I don't watch hockey, so that's my excuse.
John
okay,
is
well,
flipping to hockey now. Since football season is over for him, he's moving on to the Edmonton Oilers now. So
this is the best thing about this whole new alignment.
which
Canadian
you hated to start with.
The Canadian teams have to play Canadian teams all season, right? So I get a whole lot of Edmonton versus Toronto. I love it. Don't care who wins. Could go to overtime. Could go to shootouts. Could get blown out. I don't give a crap. Whoever wins, wins. So Toronto won the game a couple nights ago. Great. Yay. Go Toronto. Edmonton plays last night against Toronto. And holy moly donut shop. Like, I mean, if people can picture, like, I think Ken put it perfectly. It was like Maradona splitting the defense in the World Cup, how
Yes.
this goal went.
Yeah.
He took it from behind the, like not behind the net, just to the right of it, and took it all the way and basically went through a slash and a hold and just split the defense like Swiss cheese and scored the goal. It was, and I said this to Army today too. It's like, you have no idea how fast that kid is. Television doesn't do it justice.
Right.
His ability, like it's like he makes a move and you can literally see the defenseman kind of like clocking in his head what is going on, and like
But it's still late.
he's insane, and his stick handling it's amazing. Worth the price of admission. I said I'd pay.
But does Edmonton put enough talent around him for them to make a run at the cup?
That's the problem. You basically have arguably the best two players in the league. I mean, people will say Leon, but Leon won the Ross last year. I mean, Leon is a franchise player. I mean, I love Leon. If you put, I'd pick Leon over Connor just because I like Leon's game more. It reminds me of Matt Sundin, and I'm a Matt Sundin fan.
Right.
But both of them are amazing. It's like a drop off after that. Like they have Ryan Nugent Hopkins, that's a decent center, but it's like after that, who else? You have nothing else, like nothing. So the Oilers are kind of, So it's.
I liken it to an alpine skier going through a giant slalom course because he's just running right through the gates and everything.
Dude, he didn't get, but he even got slashed and held, but you didn't even notice it because he was so quick.
That's
The
right.
refs didn't call it either. So
No, I didn't call it. But it was so fast that like in the replay, I didn't even notice it till I started reading the comments. Like people were like, "Oh, he got slashed, he got held," and then I watched the replay a couple times. I'm like, "Holy crap! He got a two-hander, and he got held at the blue line, but he still just like it was insane."
Katie just popped in, guys, when she missed the Green Bay talk. Sorry about that, Katie.
Hi, Katie. It's okay.
It's okay. Her ears would have started bleeding if she was here.
Yeah, it would have bleed. You if you want to catch the Green Bay talk, Katie, watch the replay when we post it. So yeah.
Yeah, you can throw shit. You can throw shit at us on the replay.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm with you on that, John. I mean, Connor is. I mean, he's just a human highlight reel. It really is.
Yeah, just what Bill said. He's reminiscent of Bobby Orr, just plays a different position, but exact same ability to get through defenders and just like hold the puck all the way 90 feet.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it was like, you see that and it's just like, I feel so lucky and blessed that I got to see this kid play for the first couple of years of his career. Like it was amazing. It's worth the price of admission. I said I'd pay to see him, and I'd pay to see Ovechkin live because that's just as good.
Yeah, he's another guy.
That's just as good live.
I mean, and his love of the game and his excitement for the game is just unmatched. You can see that after he won the cup, how much he was just enjoying the moment and just dive into the pond in DC afterwards.
Yeah, man. But anyways, I wanted to touch on that because it's like I'm not a big fan of the Canadian, like how they had to do the alignments.
Right.
But the fact that Toronto and Edmonton get to play head to head so many times this year, I love it. I love that because I don't care who wins. I truly, honestly, like my son always asks me.
You can enjoy those games no matter who wins because it's just a matter of loving the play and back and forth with both those teams that you love so much.
Do you get more euphoric if they tie?
Yeah, tie last night, dude. It was a tie last night, and you know how they don't do ties in hockey now. So, but they're in the same division, so it kind of like it matters who wins, right? But anyways, whatever, doesn't matter. Who cares? Go Oil, go Leafs, whatever.
I'm sitting here.
Is it football season again yet? Like,
not yet.
When's draft coming up?
Draft.
That would be at the draft in April.
Yes,
that's when football season really
week in April.
Dying for the NFL.
3 months, John. 3 months.
What's really weird is all these
2.5 months. You can make it, John. You can make it.
The hockey schedule are two game series. It's like baseball.
Back to back, yeah, home and home.
Back to back at home, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's a weird alignment, but it be in this era of COVID, you gotta do that because you can't go into Canada to play unless you're quarantined for 2 weeks. So it's not going to happen. So that's why they did it this way. So April 29th. So yeah, 3 months, John, is when the draft is.
I'm good.
I'm gonna pass on Marcus Smart. I mean, he got a strained calf for the Celtics.
He got a grade 1 calf strain. He'll be out in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't see the game.
All the game,
but I heard it was a good one.
Dude, Marcus Smart is such a blowhard. Like, whatever. Let him go. Whatever.
Well, did you see Draymond's press conference after the game about one of his opponents? I forgot the name. It was fronting
some guy from some no name from Detroit.
Yeah. Yes, about him being the bully or the
about Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Coming from Draymond Green.
Yeah, coming from Draymond Green. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's interview with Steph. Did anybody see that interview?
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
No, it was hilarious because the reason why it was bad is because Klay Thompson had no idea what he was talking about the entire interview. He was just clueless.
It's hard for me to get excited about the Tampa Bay Raptors right now. You know,
it's actually the Tampa Raptors.
Sorry, John.
Stupid. Whatever. Should have put him in Buffalo, man. At least it's like all the players. How'd we go down to Florida?
Patrick Reed.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who the hell's Patrick Reed?
Yeah, who the hell is Patrick Reed?
Patrick Reed is and Ken will know this. He is a PGA golfer.
That's why we don't know.
Exactly. Like, you put that on here? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I love the PGA.
Hey, if it ain't Tiger Woods, we ain't talking.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
it's because Patrick Reed's a dumbass mother effer cheater.
Man, you never had a qualm about saying motherfucker on this show?
He's a motherfucking cheater. And Ken, I hope you'll agree with me on this. Okay. Because yesterday he hit a shot into the rough. It bounced once and the second it bounced twice, and he claimed on the second bounce the ball plugged. He picked it up before the referee came over to it and placed it. The dude is a cheater. He's not liked on the tour. He needs to just go away. And when you know it, he won the freaking Farmers Open by 5 shots today.
How do you fucking cheat at golf?
I'm not sure he's as big a cheater as he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
Leave the damn ball alone until the marshal gets there. Dumbass.
It's just stupid. Anyway, I had to rant about that. He's just I hate him. I hate it. Next thing is, now guys, this is for Elliot because he's a New Yorker. Steve Cohen from the Mets was involved in this, and John as well, because it was a crypto. It's crypto.
Portnoy, baby.
It's crypto specific, and it includes crypto. Steve Cohen left Twitter because he was getting death threats on his family after what happened with the short sale of GameStop stocks.
I knew he was going to mention GameStop in that.
Yes, because of the GameStop issue. He was getting death threats or harmful threats against his family, and because he couldn't handle that, he left Twitter. Poor guy.
Dude, look.
John, you take this one because it's all you.
Portnoy called everyone out. He was on Twitter slamming Robinhood. He was slamming Steve Cohen. He was slamming everybody. He's like, you are all going to jail, and I'm going to make sure you all go to jail. Good for him. Good for Dave. First of all, not only have you guys seen what he's been doing for like small businesses?
No,
like he's donated millions and millions of dollars. He's raised so much funds for small businesses. He gets on the call with them, like a FaceTime call, and they don't know who's calling. He calls and they get surprised that they're going to get funding. The best thing is, it's not a one-off thing. People can keep getting the funding. He's going to actually support this stuff going forward for small business. I mean, the dude's just a legend.
Dude obviously has no qualms about spending money because he's made the Mets a legit contender now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? I was happy to see that Wall Street was in panic mode this week.
Totally went left field.
I mean,
where we just transitioned.
This distinctive panic mode on Wall Street this week.
Good.
John, wasn't he the one that was donating the block to children's charities too?
Yes.
Well, he's raised so much money in the past. I don't know what he's been.
I mean, the big wigs and the hedge fund managers and on Wall Street this week were just in panic mode because there was one hedge manager had to borrow money to cover a $3 billion deficit or something like that.
Yeah, they shorted the wrongs. When you poke the bear, and that's what they've been doing. The hedge funds have been getting loaded off of short selling for. They created this monster, and now they got to reap the result.
Because the little guys kept buying the stock. They kept buying it, just bringing the price up.
No, they bought it and held it. That's the difference.
Yes.
The holding is what killed them because they had to pay for all of the bets against the stock.
Yes.
So it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And this is firing up look what it's done to Dogecoin. It did it to XRP today. It did it to
Bitcoin.
AMC.
Elon Musk came out in favor of Bitcoin this week.
Of course, because you guys stop listening to me would be freaking amazing. What is the two biggest things in the past month and a half that have been basically taken away from us as regular people? First of all, free speech, social media. If you have an opinion that differs from someone else, you get banned, period. And that's a big problem, regardless of what side of the table you're on. And then the next thing is the finance. What they can control you, man. So what do you need? You need something that they can't control. So you're telling me that cryptocurrency and social media on the blockchain is not the future? Preach, Jen. You know what I'm saying.
This gets John fired up. I love it. It gets him so fired up, and I love it. This is when he's at his best, guys.
Dude, and the amount of people that have my son, if you saw the post I made this, my son was sending me text messages about, should I get into Dogecoin? Should I get into Bitcoin? I'm like, where have you been for the past 5 years that we've been standing on corners screaming that this is where it's going?
Yeah, I know. And you know what? As much as I love the fact that a certain individual was banned from Twitter and Facebook so we can no longer hear him, I have to agree that banning it sets a precedent for moving forward.
But here's the thing though.
Slippery soap.
You cannot enforce that when it comes to private companies. And if a private company decides it no longer wants certain content on its site, it has every.
This is the problem, though, Elliot. This is the problem. You agree to that, and you say, "Okay, cool. We'll go make our own centralized. We'll make our own option because you don't want us on Twitter. We'll go make Parler. Look what they did to Parler.
Yeah,
they absolutely took it.
That was Amazon. That was Amazon that took Parler.
Exactly, but why? Yeah. You got to ask yourself why. Because if it doesn't fit the way people want it to go, the powers that be, you don't have a voice. This is why crypto and blockchain are so important. So important.
Because you own your content, no one can take it.
You know how big a deal this was?
No one can take it away from you. Yes.
Yes, you had AOC and Ted Cruz agreeing with each other. That's how big this is. When you have those two
That's insane.
who are both as far away on the field as you can get, they're agreeing with each other about how this is not right. You gotta sit there and go,
I'd worry about those two coming to a formulation about anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
No
All right,
kidding.
let's get off this. Let's
Just
go. Let's
saying.
move on. Let's move on. We're going to get into the somber portion of the show, which John just loves every week. We have to say goodbye to a lot of our heroes the last couple of weeks. You've been gone for 2 weeks, and so many important figures have passed on us. Elliot, I wanted to bring you up first because you you wanted to talk about Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, who used to be the home run king, but was passed over by Barry Bonds, which is also subject to interpretation. Hank Aaron's always been considered the king when it comes to hitting and home runs. He was a beloved figure. He was a great man on and off the field. I mean, he's the first person to break Babe Ruth's record for home runs, at 715 back in 1972, I believe is when he did it, or 74. 74. He passed on the 22nd of January. I loved me some Hank Aaron. Elliot, what do you got on him? Go ahead.
Okay. When anybody remembers Hank Aaron, they're always going to remember that 715th home run.
Right.
Okay. That just goes hand in hand. Do you remember where you were when he hit that home run?
I was a kid. I don't remember it. No.
Unfortunately, I do.
I was 13 years old at the time, sitting in my dad's room. We're sitting there watching the game. My dad's like, "Oh, he's gonna hit that home run tonight." I'm like, "Okay." He made me sit there and watch it with him, and I praise my dad to this day for making me sit there because he came up in that first at bat and he drove that ball out to the bullpen and left, which the ball was actually caught by a pitcher named Tom House, who is now a renowned quarterback pitching coach, instructor all over the world, basically. But the one thing that his death has definitely brought back to the forefront is that same picture. Those of us who saw him hit that home run that night, and it's that picture you see behind me.
The two white guys that came out to congratulate him.
Yeah, it is one of the most iconic photos in sports. And yeah, behind him were those two guys running to pat him on the back to congratulate him for what he had done.
And after all the death threats he got leading up to that day,
exactly,
made it more.
Not more than 46 years later, the image is obviously back on everybody's mind. So, I guess the question is, do you wonder whatever happened to the two guys who inadvertently made history by running out on the
Yeah,
field?
I actually do.
Okay. Their names were Britt Gaston and Cliff Courtney. They were only 17 years old when they jumped on that field from the first baseline to catch up to Aaron. That's a hell of a run, going from the first base.
the third. Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
Because the guy in the black shirt who was Gaston, he came running from the center field position, so he had to have gone way around. And the other guy was running towards second base, where you could see Billy Russell and Davey Lope standing by the base.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in 2010, they finally got a chance to meet Aaron and reminisce that unforgettable moment.
Nice.
Aaron had an interview with the Associated Press back in 2010, and he said it was wonderful to see them. I often got asked whatever happened to those guys, and it was just nice to see them again and knowing that they're doing fine and doing well.
Good.
Aaron went on to say that the two teams were caught up running into the field and they spent the night in jail, but at least in the end, it all came out to be a fun thing. Okay. Flash forward to the last month when he passed away. Those moments will now live as happy memories. Courtney, who lives in Valdosta, okay, he wrote a tribute to Aaron on Facebook describing his personal integrity and quiet dignity.
Send me that link, Elliot. I want to read it.
The negativity, hypocrisy, dishonesty, and petty divisiveness that exists today stand in stark contrast to your example of personal integrity and quiet dignity. Accomplishment despite adversity and grace under pressure, you walk the walk. Thanks for being nice to me, Hank. No, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, Mr. Aaron, absolutely.
Gaston, who lived in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, died a few years ago from cancer. But in a loving tribute to Gaston, his friend said she hoped that when he gets to heaven, he catches up with the greatest and gets himself a heavenly autograph.
Absolutely. Awesome. It's awesome stuff, Elliot. Awesome.
And that was what I wanted to share with you.
Yeah, and it's that photograph is iconic.
It is.
And it is because of the fact of the racial hatred that was sent to him.
They were talking about killing him if he broke that record.
Correct. And the racial hatred that was sent Hank's way leading up to and after breaking the record is just, you have to read the letters. You have to, because he kept those letters.
Yes.
But who else but him or somebody like Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
Okay, could deal with that adversity in such a graceful and commendable way.
He was full of grace. He never spewed hatred back at those who were spewing it to him. Never. And he kept every single letter he received up to at that point, the remainder of his life. He never got rid of them. He never put them in a museum. He kept them as a reminder of what he achieved and what he meant to baseball. Hank Aaron is the ultimate, what's the word I'm looking for?
He was honestly my first baseball hero, as far as that goes.
He was the ultimate ambassador to baseball because he remained involved.
Not just baseball, life.
And just you cannot minimize the man's character or his dedication to breaking down those racist walls. You just can't understate it because he meant so much. And not just the baseball world lost a legend, the world lost a legend when he passed away on the 22nd.
Like I said, the Field of Dreams roster got that much better.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Another baseball legend, Don Sutton, passed away as well within the last couple of weeks. Great pitcher. He was a great broadcaster as well, if you guys remember.
Yep.
And it just,
I used to actually root for the Dodgers in the days when
Don Sutton was, gets great.
I like the Dodgers of Sutton and Garvey and all those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Sutton's actually in the bullpen when Aaron hit that home run.
Yeah. And John Chaney, who was a NCAA college basketball legend.
Temple.
With Temple. Man.
I remember he always reminded me of Splinter from the Teenage Ninja Turtles.
I mean, his eyes would just go right through you every time you looked at him. So,
he had those sad eyes. He had those droopy eyes too. John Chaney.
Yes, he did. Yep.
The biggest memory of him was when he threatened to kill John Calipari. That press conference.
God, I hope he would. You know what? I wish he would have done it because he would never have been convicted in any court in the U.S. I'm going to go with Cloris Leachman next.
Okay.
Cloris Leachman. My most memorable performance of Cloris Leachman was not only just Mary Tyler Moore, but it was Young Frankenstein with Gene Wilder. Herr Brugger. She was a great actress. I loved her. She was just a kind person. And she's another icon I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. John doesn't know because this is back in the 70s, so he doesn't remember Cloris Leachman.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Young Frankenstein, John?
No, I mean,
you need to watch Young Frankenstein.
I know Larry King and Hank Aaron and everyone else. I have no idea who you're talking about.
You need to watch Young Frankenstein. It's a Mel Brooks movie. I think you will love it. Gene Wilder, Cloris Leachman, what's his face? Who Who was Igor, guys? Come on.
Uh,
Mel
Um,
Brooks. Oh no,
no.
guy with the funky eyes.
Yes.
No.
Forget his name. Pete Feldman or some shit like that.
Marty Feldman.
Marty Feldman. Thank you very much.
Marty
Yes,
Feldman.
Marty Feldman. It's black and white. You got to watch it, John. It's great. You look it up on. I'm sure it's
That's
somewhere
fucking hilarious, dude.
on streaming somewhere. It's a great. It's a classic Mel Brooks movie. Cicely Tyson was an African American icon.
The first time I ever saw Cicely Tyson was in a movie with Richard Pryor called Bustin' Loose.
Yeah.
That was the first exposure I ever had to Cicely Tyson, and I had no idea that she was so much deeper than that
Yes.
in life.
Yeah.
And for her to be that deep of a person and pull off the comedy, the comedic part that she played alongside Richard Pryor,
hmm
that shit just blew me away.
Yeah.
John, ever get a chance, watch Bustin' Loose. If you like Richard Pryor, what the hell, right?
Yes. I know you love Richard Pryor, John. Come on now.
Yeah, but I didn't grow up with Richard Pryor.
Oh.
Like he was not like, you know, okay, sorry.
I grew up with two different Richard Pryor. One before and one after crack explosion.
Yes. Yes.
My favorite Cicely Tyson movie was the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman.
She did that well.
When she walked in and got that drink of water right there at the end. That was
She was like
magic.
the older female version of Chadwick Boseman. She played in every freaking iconic
Exactly.
historic person movie.
Who was I may be wrong, but who was the black woman in Deadpool, guys?
I'm not.
Deadpool?
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
I've never seen Deadpool, so I couldn't tell you.
No idea.
She was blind in that movie. That wasn't Cicely Tyson, was it?
I don't think so, but I can't remember who it was.
Look it up, man.
You
Google
got
it.
Movie database. Look it up.
Google it while you still can.
You guys are killing me, man. It's like 20 minutes of people who died, who were basically 90 years old and lived great lives.
Uh-huh.
Kills me. Spending
Yeah,
your
I think,
Leslie
the
Uggams.
youngest, I think the
Yeah.
youngest one out here was in the mid. I think it was Hank Aaron, actually. Oh no, Sutton. Maybe.
She was also in Roots.
90s all the way through.
She had a prominent role in Roots, but I can't remember exactly which
Here's the
one
thing.
it was.
Here's the thing, though, John. In defense of that, I mean, these are people we grew up with. So
And I get it. I mean, this is definitely a generational thing. Like it's like when
It is.
Kobe died for me, it was pretty.
Oh, it's Leslie Uggams. I'm sorry, it was Leslie Uggams in Deadpool.
Yeah, you just gotta pay attention to the chat because like they're all
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
they answered you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne.
Quicker than you. I don't what were you typing on? Were you typing like this? Like,
I was
like
Googling it. Never mind. It didn't work. out.
Googling like this with like big huge fingers? Like
he was playing Peck and Hunt.
And then finally, of course, the legend, the man, the myth, Larry.
see, I know Larry King.
Yes.
There we
That
go.
sucked.
So
Larry King, 1973 was it?
what?
His first show on CNN.
No.
Was
No,
that-
it was after that.
93. He was 93.
83, something
85
like
or
that.
something like that. Yeah, it was like 80. He was with CNN for 20 years, 25 years. So it was 85 actually. Was his first.
And you know that Ted Turner brought him in from radio,
Yes.
even though he didn't have a face for TV.
Oh, you're on the air, Sandusky, Ohio.
but he came on the air, and I think the appeal, and I think the catapult of his career was that when he came in and brought the radio aspect with him, because he would field calls from the listeners.
Yeah, and not only that,
yeah.
but his interviewing style was he would give the interviewee short questions and to the point
And let them talk.
and let them talk.
Yep.
One other thing, he had no notes.
No,
Everything
No.
he asked was straight off the cuff.
his head, yes. And
His main thing was he wanted to know how everyone else ticked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He wanted to know how everybody else ticked in life.
And he interviewed, and guys, he interviewed everybody.
Every
Global world leaders,
Correct. I mean, the big
world leaders,
psycho that used to
entertainers,
run
athletes.
killers and maniacs.
He interviewed the psycho that used to run Iran, for God's sake.
Jibba
Mhm.
Jibbadabad?
Yes, that guy. Yes.
Well, Gaddafi, you used to interview him.
Gaddafi. Yes.
I mean, shit. Back in the days of Gorbachev and stuff, he interviewed Gorbachev. You know
Is
what
he
I'm
still
saying?
alive? Is Gorbachev still alive?
Yes, he is.
He is. Huh? Hmm.
So, I mean, Larry King was definitely
Yes, I
a
don't
legend,
know.
but you know what? I think the thing he'll go down for is that he was always, from the guy in the boardroom to the taxi cab driver that took him to the studio. He had the same respect for each and every one of them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Also,
So,
once upon a time, a minority owner of the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, it goes with that.
He was a lifelong Dodger fan, and he never gave when he was alive when the Brooklyn Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to L.A. and never wavered his support of the Dodgers. When he moved to Brooklyn to L.A., I think he was a Brooklyn kid as well, or Queens. I imagine
Yeah.
he was a Brooklyn kid, but he never wavered from his fandom with the Dodgers. He followed them to L.A. and kept rooting for them, and he was often seen behind home plate watching the games in LA.
He and Tommy Lasorda were best friends.
Yes. We lost him as well. I don't know if had been that.
Yeah, just recently we lost him.
We lost Tommy Lasorda just recently too. But he never wavered from his fandom of the Dodgers. He loved them to his dying days. And it was so good because before he died, he got to see the Dodgers win one more World Series, which is this past season.
That's cool.
But mad respect to Larry King.
And all the rest of the folks that
Yes.
have moved on.
I mean, there's been so many supporting, I mean, people posting and their support for Larry King and their love for Larry King. And
Yeah, I had to shut my TV off after a while because everything on TV was about Larry King. So-
yeah, well, and especially CNN, because CNN was just 24/7.
Oh yeah, it was 24/7.
It was 24/7 Larry King, for the couple of days after his death. So,
I started watching.
Larry King saved CNN.
well, yeah, he did. He actually did save CNN. You're right on that, because
Yeah,
It was going
was
down
the
the
most-
tube.
it was
He
the most-
saved it.
it was the most popular show on CNN for 25 years. It really was.
Mhm.
give it up to Ted Turner in that aspect as well.
That was a great decision by Ted.
Yeah.
But
See, Ted was a visionary though. That's just it. You know? He owned the Braves for a while, and
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
Hey Scott, were you saying that we didn't have enough content for the show?
I know, right?
Good, we're 15 minutes over.
I know, right? There was a question.
Well, the past 45 minutes has been talking about everybody who died over the past 2 weeks.
Actually, it was the last 17 minutes.
Yes, there was a question posted about our Super Bowl predictions. We as a group has decided we're going to do an early pre Super Bowl show on next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, where we will discuss the Super Bowl, our predictions, our thoughts, our feelings, whatever, on the matchup between Tampa Bay and Kansas City. So we will have a special edition of the Sports Nerds next Sunday at 5 p.m.
1
which
hour.
will lead up until about an hour leading up to the game at about 6:20 or 6:30, whenever they freaking decide to kick the ball off.
That way everybody has a chance to go get ready, get their chips and their popcorn and whatever the
Right.
fuck they're doing for the
Yep.
game.
So
7-layer dip.
30
Right.
minutes.
So we're going to have an hour show next Sunday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 6:30 at John's time zone, whatever that is,
Put that shit on your Google Calendar, damn it.
and 4 p.m. Eastern for Ken Costlow and the Texas and people in Texas. So we will do that next Sunday at 5 p.m. Please join us. I hope you will. Tonight has been a great show, despite there was no football today. We had a lot to talk about. And it wasn't all deaths, John. Please put that aside, you know. John just loves that segment of the show. He
It's
just,
just so depressing. It's just like, we're so excited for like an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden it's like, and meanwhile, half of the world's population has passed away. Let's go through each of them. Shall
I'm telling you right now, I'd prefer to do that than talk about golf.
there you go.
we? Yeah.
Oh, anyway, thank you everybody for showing up tonight. We were in the high single digits tonight for most of the show. We even had a 10, we're at 10 at one point in time. So, hey, it's good. It's good to know we got people watching this show for a change. Anyway,
Yeah. Now, you know what? Never mind. We'll save that for off.
I know where he was going with that. He's gonna walk
Because me
away.
and Elliot could start a rage right now, but we won't.
Yes, Jen.
Anyway,
Eastern, Jen.
Eastern time, Jen.
Eastern
So
time.
you know you're
Bright and early for you. Two in
2
the afternoon.
o'clock.
2 for you, Jen. 2 p.m. Eastern time in Reno. What you
I
got,
know my
Jen?
time zones.
What were you saying, Ken?
I just said 2 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, 2 o'clock your time, Jen. Anyway, on behalf of my co-hosts, Ken Koslow, John G. Olson, and my executive producer, Elliot Big E Lamba, we are the Sports Nerds. We thank you for watching, and we will be back next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, and Elliot, hit the outro.
Well, there you have it, Nerds Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still live to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? John, Bob, and Ken, the three other lovable members of the Ram Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are